here with the man, Joe Turner. Hope you guys are having a blessed start to your Tuesday. And one thing we're going to talk today is effective leadership. So Joe, what are the top 3 lessons you've learned while leading sales teams?
The first one that comes to mind, Jonah, is observation. So like any opportunity that I get, I'm going to observe the top tier leaders and learn like everything that they're doing and why they're doing it. So like the way that they carry themselves, the way that they communicate, how they handle certain situations. So I think the best thing you can do there is just get around those people as much as possible. So like that's coming down here to your office. That's going out to see Joe Basso, go see Paul McLean, go see Gabe. Those are the people within Pinnacle. And then also social media. It's never been easier to go on YouTube or to go on the right platforms and find the people that are already killing it and doing what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And then like podcasts, like I've been listening to Ed Milet a lot.
Yeah.
And he gets some beasts on there.
Yeah.
So like learning from them, and then obviously you can observe, but you have to implement. So observing all of those things, and something that I used to struggle with, I would write down like a ton of like observations, and then I wouldn't really implement any because I was writing down so many, trying to focus on all of them at once. So my suggestion to myself was I should just focus on one at a time, master that one, and then go to the next one. So it's kind of like a brain dump, and then you circle one and go with that one.
Yeah.
So that's definitely helped. Beyond that would be experience. So I had the privilege of being able to play lacrosse for a while. So in high school, I had a lot of leadership experience on my high school team, which forced me to grow and learn how to navigate certain conversations. And I think one of the most underrated aspects to leadership is you have to learn how everybody's motivated. Like not everybody's motivated by the same things.
Yes.
So it's not always money. Maybe it's not lifestyle. Maybe it's, they want to be able to get back for their family, or they want freedom, they want control. So like you have to have a good understanding of what everybody on your team is trying to achieve, and have a common goal for them to achieve. So that definitely helped, like with the sports, because you're all working toward winning the game.
Yeah.
And you want to be the best. And then the last aspect would probably be just vision. And this is something that JP talks about a ton too, but having a vision so large that everyone else's can fit within it. Mm-hmm. So if you're thinking small, everyone else on your team has to think small, because their dreams aren't capable through yours if it's too small.
And it's impossible for your organization to grow past your level of belief, past your vision.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were hitting on that this morning, law of the lid. So I think you have to, like you said, take some time to yourself, reflect, think about what you're really trying to accomplish, and then just equip everybody to get there.
And not only have a big vision, but as leaders, it's our job to always be consistently casting the vision to our people. Because in life, you're always selling, but especially if you're in sales, you're selling. And so you start out selling to clients, but as a leader, you need to be selling your people, not only on the opportunity, but more importantly, themselves. Because the amount of times I've had a conversation with an agent where, let's be honest, a lot of agents come into this with low self-belief and, hey, I don't know if I can do this. And sometimes people need somebody that believes in them more than they believe in themselves. And if they can just have that boost of confidence of, hey, Joe really believes in me. Hey, I don't want to, you talked about it earlier. It's easy for us to let ourselves down, but it's another thing for us to let other people down. Like, hey, Joe really believes in me, and like, I don't want to let Joe down. Like, he's really poured into me. And so having that conversation, where I've had conversations with multiple agents where I sit down with them, I said, bro, you're talented. Bro, you're a 40K a month producer, and then you can do this. And then just that simple conversation of, dude, not even anything crazy, but then they have that breakthrough belief, and they're like, okay, I'm going to go and do this.
That happened to me.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, like at the prior sales job, I didn't think it was quite possible to come out a month late and still be in the top 10 of the rookie class. But because I started off pretty solid, and then people started feeding into it, like, oh, like this dude is going to be a top 10 rookie, like it re-sparked that belief, and it gives you a ton of confidence. And then the last point I want to make, picked up this from Ed Milet podcast, but so many people, they're loved, I hope, right? But they're not believed in, to your point. So when you express belief, it really does go a long way for them, because not too many people are going out of their way to express belief. Like Jonah, like I see all the inputs you're putting in. You're the first one in the office, you're staying late, you're getting to the presentations, you're doing the dials, you're working intentionally. I see your potential. It's only a matter of time. Like you are a 40K producer, time just has to catch up. Like when you say that to the right person, that's really gonna help them take off. But not everybody's willing to take the time to do that.
That's good. That's good. And then also, in order to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. And coachability is so important, and that's why we talk about it all the time. but it's never been easier. And I'm so thankful for social media, because social media can be very toxic, but it can also be very positive based on what you consume and what you follow. I'm not a book guy. I read books, but I learn the most through podcasts, and I consume a ton of podcasts. Love YouTube, love podcasts, love listening and gaining knowledge. And I remember I was just listening to a Jesse Hitzler podcast Sunday, and he was talking about, he's like, man, back in my day, he's a billionaire at this point, but he's like, back when I was starting in business back in the 70s, 80s, we didn't have social media. So if I wanted mentorship, I had to fly to New York or fly to that person, wait outside their office, and then have a 2-minute conversation from their office to the elevator and wait outside for hours. He said, I would do that. And I was that person. Now you can just listen to a 2-hour podcast of them on YouTube sharing all their knowledge and all their experience and the lessons they've learned and everything else. So there's really no excuses in that regard. And then also, people need to, if you want to be a top producer, I always tell people, hey, figure out who in Pinnacle you emulate with the best. Who do you relate with the best? Who do you like their style the best? And then just consume all of that person's content. Like, just watch theirs. Don't listen to 10 different top producers and try to implement 10 different things. Just focus on that person and listen and consume everything they have, and then do that. And then boom. And same thing with leadership. Is like, there's a few select people in our lives where, hey, I'm going to take leadership advice from this person, but what they do, just emulate that and just study and watch them. Because the best lessons I've learned was talking about this morning on the morning sales training. It's caught more than it's taught. And the most I've learned from Joe Basso is by observing how he handles certain situations, or how he interacts with specific conversations, or what he does in this scenario, or what he does with that. I've learned way more than doing that than just him telling me. And he honestly hasn't told me that much. It's just watching and observing. And anytime I'm around somebody successful, Nick Long, Nick Alfano, like these guys that operate on a high level, I love to watch and observe. And I think that's a characteristic of anybody that is successful, is that is one skill set, especially when they're young in their 20s, that they become very good at. It's observing people.
Couldn't agree more.
So awesome. Guys, if you took value from this, like, subscribe, and share with somebody else that needs to hear this. God bless. Let's make it a massive week.